What's going on, everyone? It's Abdallah here, bringing you guys another tips and tricks tutorial video for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Today, we're going to show you guys how exactly to unlock Calamity Ganon. Yes, a playable end game boss. Oh my gosh, you guys are in for a huge treat over here. Anyway, speaking of being in for a huge treat, we have a Nintendo Switch that we're giving away at 850,000 subscribers. So that's only 3,000 away. What are we waiting for? Let's go. Anyway, if you guys didn't already see on our channel, we've got tons of Age of Calamity content, such as our live stream walkthroughs, and of course, our tips and tricks tutorial videos. So if you want to know about all these secret characters, definitely click that. And while you're clicking on stuff, definitely take a look at our Facebook page, where we're giving away a copy of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Do check it out. Okay, so when I say end game, I mean end game. You are going to have to go through your list of all the different challenges, and you're going to make sure you beat a lot of them. Now, once you beat a lot of them, you will have this open up that's called Versus Calamity Ganon. Yes, there are so many challenges in the game, you can actually sort on the very top of the screen and go by different recommended levels. But this is going to be some really end game stuff. You're going to have to be in the upwards of 70s and maybe even level 80s to make this happen. Now, this battle is going to be a challenge of killing certain bosses, such as Astor, Harbinger Ganon, and Calamity Ganon, all within a timer of 12 minutes. So roughly, that means that you'll need about 4 minutes for each of them. Some of them are going to be super easy, and some of them are going to be a little bit harder. So if you guys take a look at the gameplay on screen over here, you'll learn a little bit more about what the moves and attacks are, so that you guys can be better prepared for it. Now, I trust that if you guys are already at this point where you've beaten the entire story mode and gotten Terrico and all that stuff, then you already know how to play, right? You know how to use flurry rushes, you know how to use your special gauge, you know Link's bread and butter combos, so it's really all about executing everything that you can. Now, so for Astor over here, he is a pretty easy character. You can see that whenever he's about to do his attack, he does a little bit of an animation, and then he throws a whole bunch of ground orbs from the bottom. And you'll also notice that he does teleport all the way around. So if you're nearby, just pay attention to his little movements. You'll see his ground orbs, and then use a dodge in order to dodge that, and then initiate the flurry rush. It's that simple. You'll get it in no time. He's relatively easy, and then the weak point gauge is always the way that you're going to do the most damage on him. So just kind of be wary of these little spikes on the side. You may end up doing like an accidental wall jump, so keep that in mind. Other than that, we do have some spawns of some like interesting shadow links over here, which is kind of his gimmick, right? Like throughout the story, he spawns all these different shadow clones of whatever. Those shadow clones are very easy to beat up, especially the Link one that he summons. So simply just keep on battling it, do the weak point gauge, and then continue beating down on Astor. You should be able to beat him in about 3 minutes or so, and you'll go from there.
Curse you! Curse you!
And boom, you got your last hit on Astor. Okay, super easy, right? You've already done the patterns, we're all set. Now comes the more easier part of this entire battle. It's Harbinger Ganon. Now, this different guardian-looking thing is relatively simple, simply because it's very weak to a lot of different moves, such as stasis. It's got a beam attack, it's got a little sword swipe, it's got aerial lasers, it's got hammer arms. There's so many different attacks that it does, but the fact that it does have a weakness to stasis and it allows you to proceed to beat up on its weak point shows you that you can beat this thing in about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes flat. Like, it's really, really not that big of a deal. He's kind of a pushover. So just take a look at all of his different ancient weapons that he uses. When he throws that beam over there, if you're not able to dodge it, feel free to use the shield. And who knows, maybe if you're cool enough, you can even parry it. I honestly haven't tried, but maybe in the near future I should be able to. But you can see over here that Stasis really is overpowered against this guy. It does a lot of damage, and it gives you the weak point gauge that you can easily deplete in order to do more and more damage to knock him out. So anyway, pay attention to all of his moves. If you're good enough, you can absolutely dodge his little kick attack. And if you really want to, as Link, fire some arrows, and who knows, maybe one of your arrows will fly directly into his eyeballs, thus revealing even more of his weak point gauge. Anyway, he's pretty much done. You should have a special gauge right over here, so yeah, go ahead and unleash that, and boom, you're all set. So Astor and Harbinger Ganon are 100% defeated. Now comes the hardest part of the entire battle, which is Calamity Ganon. Now, if you've already gone through and beaten the main game, you already know what his kind of attacks are, but he's going to be a little bit stronger this time around simply because you have taken a lot of damage from these two battles previously. So, we can see over here that he's got tons of different punch combos. He does his little yell into a stomp. He does all these different, like, swipes. But the thing is about this Calamity Ganon is that he does have a lot of open weaknesses that he announces even before he does them. So by this time in the game, you'll already know how to Flurry Rush, and just going through and doing the tablet weaknesses, such as the upcoming bomb weakness that I'll show you, and he even has a Cryonis weakness. He has a Magnesis weakness. Like, he announces this stuff, so it's honestly not as bad as you think. Right over here is the bomb one, so literally just toss the bombs at him and you're all set. So that'll keep him stunned for a little bit. His weak point gauge will be available for a couple seconds, so keep on nailing your Y combos on him and you'll be all set. So that was the running backhand that he typically does. Look out for that. Right here is the Cryonis weakness, so he walks backward and then he charges at you. So watch out for that, and then do another weak point smash whenever you're able to. Very simple. But you'll notice that these weak point smashes aren't doing a lot of health. Maybe like 1/10, maybe 1/12 of his entire meter. So you're just gonna have to keep on going. This big old stomp over here is 100% predictable, so you can easily dodge that and then Flurry Rush him. Right over here is another Cryonis, so super simple. And one of the things that I do want to mention is that if you're able to sneak away and fire some arrows at him, typically if you do like the YX combo to get Link in midair, you can get a better shot at throwing some arrows at his head. Now if you aim for his head with arrows, you'll be able to deplete some of his weak point gauge just as easily as you would if you stunned him with this Stasis, for example, over here. So he has a Stasis weakness. He's pretty much got one of each of them. So he's honestly not that bad, especially if you're in your high level 70s or even high level 80s of a Link character. Right over here, you'll see that. So we jumped backwards and then fired a whole bunch of arrows directly at his head, which completely depleted his weak point gauge. So anyway, he's going to do a little bit more moves now. His wings come out. His moves get a little bit stronger. He throws these different fireballs in the air. He's about at half health, so this is where his moveset kind of mixes up a little bit. But if you've already been doing this much health, just keep an eye on your apples if you need to heal up, and enjoy the rest of the battle. So there we have it. Success. Calamity Ganon and their allies have been defeated. We have officially beaten Calamity Ganon. How crazy is that? It's done. It's absolutely done, guys. You did it. This is the end game stuff. So if you now have gone through and like saved a lot of side quests, you can obliterate these side quests with Calamity Ganon. Now, I said before that this character is really overpowered. Look forward to a combo video very, very soon where we'll showcase exactly how powerful this character is. Calamity Ganon, yeah. All right, well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this one. Yes, it is the end of the game. Yes, it's going to take you many, many hours in order to get this far, but I wish you the best of luck, and if you guys want to play along with me, feel free. Let me know. What do you guys think of the character? If you guys have already unlocked him, tell me how many hours did it take you. Let me know in the comment section below, and we will go from there. Thanks for subscribing, thanks for turning on notifications, and thanks for definitely checking out the playlist. You guys are amazing. We'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.